chicken owners and chicken lovers. Just kind of want to make a little video showing a little bit about our coop. What we did, we're new owners. We have 10 chickens, 2 ducks, and 2 turkeys. We got a male duck, and it looks like a male turkey. The rest are all female. But it's good to have 1 or 2 roosters in your pen, from what I heard. So maybe we'll get a rooster eventually. But so I kind of got to show you a little bit what we did and some musts and don'ts when you're building your coop. So we started out, we had bought this house with a fenced-in backyard already. You can kind of see we have a nice big area that's all fenced in. What we did was we built this wire fence right here. You can kind of see we took these posts, landscaping timbers that were only a couple bucks a piece from Lowe's, and we cemented in the ground like 18 inches deep to make sure they don't move, because we live in a pretty windy place. Also, if you look, we got that netting up. We bought that netting on eBay. I think it was 50 by 100 feet or something like that. It was pretty hard to put up, but if you lay it out without getting it stuck with a bunch of tumbleweeds and crap in it, like on a flat surface, like maybe a driveway, it may be a little easier. You look, we kind of put hooks everywhere to catch the netting, and we started out here, went up to the gutter all the way across in the house. We used some nails that went in to the stucco, and we used that, and then we put some of these really cheap gold eyes, or like little hooks you can hang stuff on, and that's what we kind of used on the fence line. Then we've got that was it 3 or 4 foot chicken fence, rabbit fence, whatever they want to call it, and we stapled it to the posts. And then I built this gate by myself. Just used some treated 2x4s around to make a frame, and then we used some old pallet wood that I took apart on the other side and put it to it. But before we put the pallet wood on, we put that fencing on again. Just an idea, a suggestion. We have a coop that was over here at one point in time, that white one. This one right here we're building, it's a 4 by 8 foot, a lot bigger. Just to let you guys know, if you get one just like that white one, it's only going to hold maybe 4 or 5 chickens, so you're going to need to get something bigger. Or if you follow my page, I do have another video. If you subscribe and look, I'm actually currently building this pallet chicken coop, and I'll kind of show you how, some do's and don'ts on that too. Along with this fence, I put just kind of like a gate latch. So, and then I put just a piece of plastic rope on the other side, and then put some, well, I was gonna go buy a handle, and I probably still will, but for cheap I just use 550 cord and a gate latch. And then I went outside and bought some gate hinges. It works pretty well. I had to move this too, so just to let you know, this was actually lower, and it wouldn't go latch after a while because this pole kind of bent. But now that it's settled where it needs to, I just moved the latch up about 1 inch. So also another suggestion is when you're doing the fence posts, you might want to see about like burying the fence itself. I never did that, but we did put the pieces of wood right here to keep the chickens from going underneath. When they're little, we put the chickens outside about a month and a week, or like maybe just about a month actually, and they started going through those holes. So just to let you know, if you put them out when they're too small, they'll try to go through this fence, unless you want to use something that's a little bit more enclosed, like straight chicken wire. But we like this rabbit fence because it's more heavy duty and we don't have to replace it. So inside we made this little thing, which is kind of like a roost, but we made it kind of into a feeder actually instead. And we got just some a feeder and a waterer that we use when the chickens and turkeys and ducks were real small. And we just got those other eye hooks, just like I showed you before. And we just took a couple bungee cords and ropes and made it into a feeder, so where the mice can't get into it. Now we did have my brother and sister-in-law give us these two. You can make them yourself. There's some stuff on YouTube. The feeder, you know, just make some stuff with PVC pipe. It's not that hard, and then put some on the joints. Just make sure that there's some kind of sealant. Also with this one, works pretty well, but you can guys get these nipples on Amazon for pretty cheap, and all you do is drill a hole and then you cap both sides. When we got it, a couple of them were broken, and I think it was like $5 for like 100 pack or something like that, so pretty cheap. Our chickens and ducks get along pretty well. The ducks didn't like it, the chickens at first, so and they kind of started attacking them when they're real. Just be very careful when you're putting ducks and chickens and turkeys all together. The biggest thing to do is raise the turkeys with the chickens, but just know that they're going to start trying to roost where the chickens are. So we're going to try to figure out a way to get the turkeys in their own little spot. Probably make another roost kind of like this just for the turkeys, because we plan on having more turkeys. Maybe 1 or 2 more. The wife bought this online, and it came out pretty well, but the door broke off. That latches it. But ducks kind of do their own thing, and when they get bigger, they really don't need this door. The good thing is to have is a nice little area. Also, that black rectangle thing in there, we bought online, and all it is a heater, and we just put it on the side. Kind of show you. And all we do is put it on the side, and it literally just sits there. This one comes with like a tray that removes, but we never really use it to remove anything, because we just use like a dustpan to remove it, and then we compost it. With the pond, we just kind of dug probably about 1 foot deep, and then we put some landscaping bricks inside of it. I'm gonna fix it, and I'll show you guys in a later video, but what we do is we have a drain underneath here, which is kind of buried because it was real windy the other day, and it goes to a T ball valve, and then it connects to a hose that's right here for drainage. Now, we had a kind of an issue with the drainage. We had it running all the way through the fence underneath the ground and then out to the yard. Wasn't really going downhill that well, and it kind of got clogged up. So what we're gonna do is, on the other side of the fence, we have a hole dug and like a trench, and we're gonna try to make some kind of drainage for the pool, because the duck pool gets really gunked up real quick, and it gets dirty in a day or two. Ducks really are messy people, so you got to really clean that stuff all the time. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible. We might try to find another way to do it, but maybe like a pump or something, like a sump pump to get rid of the water or something like that eventually. But right now, that's what we have. Let's see, it's in a side yard, so we try to grow grass here. It didn't really work that well. My idea, if you're going to grow grass first before you put the chickens and stuff out here, because they like to eat the seeds and stuff like that, and eventually it just will go bare unless you plant some wild grass and stuff like that. Besides that, I think that's about it. Like I said, I'm building a chicken coop, so please subscribe and like, and then look at those videos. The #1 video I already posted, but I'll be posting the other ones later. Alright, thank you. Post another video soon. Bye. So just a little short video to show you kind of where we started our chicks and turkeys and stuff. We started them in like a big, the ducts like that, about that black and yellow lid. And we just had it we had like a heat lamp in the garage all the time on because it was winter, or like, you know, cold a couple months ago. And then we were like, okay, we need to do something. So our brother and sister-in-law was doing chickens, and they also had this metal trough. So it's got a bunch of junk in it right now, but we raised the ducks in the black bin, and then when they got old enough, we put them outside, and then we raised the chickens and the turkeys in this metal bin, and we got them probably about 3 or 4 weeks after we got the ducks. So the ducks are about 2 months old. I mean, the ducks are about 3 months old. Chickens and turkeys are 2 months old right now, but they're big. I would suggest, if you're going to do this, to get a couple heating lamps, put it on one or the sides to start if you're going to put them in the garage. Also, when they get big enough, they're going to want to try to jump out. So at that point in time, it's probably good enough to put them outside. But you got to think about, depending on the weather, because they got to stay at a 90 degree, 94 degree temperature as they're getting old. Also, let me show you, which is really nice outside to have, is this water heater. And you literally place your water right on top of that and plug it outside, and what it does is it just keeps it just below or just above freezing so that your water doesn't freeze. So if you go out of town or something and you have the chickens and ducks or whatever in the garage or outside, their stuff doesn't freeze, which is really cool. But we don't need it right now because it's summertime. Let me think. We started with that bedding back there, but then we realized that it was kind of toxic to ducks and chickens. So we got more of a like a larger flake mix with I think it was pine or something, pine shavings. Was that pine or was it? Forgot. But just kind of research and find out what kind of shavings are non-toxic to your ducks and chickens. Because the cheap ones we bought from Walmart wasn't good enough. Like, those were made for other animals, I guess. But yeah, so we switched, and it was a lot better. I think the ducks and stuff were sneezing actually when we put that bedding in for 2 days, and that's when we were like, okay, well, something's going on. So we had to figure it out. So yeah. Also, what is really nice to have, and I'll kind of show you. This dang netting. I think I'm going to have to put something up also to keep the netting up, because it's, being a 6-foot tall person, it's kind of hard to in this area. It only slopes down one side because it's coming off the house, if you look at that. Okay, so what's good to have is this little rooster right here. This is really nice to have when you start putting them outside. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Kiddos are like bugging the heck out of me, but we got to get going, so I'm trying to tell them to eat breakfast. So yeah, so we got this little rooster right here, which is good. What happens is you can move it up and down, and pretty much the chickens will lay under it. It's kind of like, you know, like a mother hen or whatever. Also, they'll lay on top of it too, which is kind of cool. We put this in the coop and then kind of drilled a hole right here to access to, like, putting an extension cord in here. And you can make it work how you want. We also put some extra roosts in here just because there was one crappy bar in there when we got the coop. We just put a couple, especially with the turkeys. They didn't have any room to sleep in here, and they were starting to sleep on top. And that was part of the main reason why we decided to do another coop too, because every night now they come out here and they all fall asleep. And you know how it is when chickens, they can't see in the dark, so then it gets windy outside and then they get blown off the back of the coop, and it turns into a big mess in the middle of the night when I hear them going like crazy. So we're going to build this new coop, and I think that's all the information I have for y'all that are interested in doing a chicken or turkey coop. If you guys have any questions, please comment or ask questions to me. Also like and subscribe, and then you could see what we're doing with the pallet chicken coop. I chose to do a pallet chicken coop because I don't want to pay a bunch of money for a bunch of lumber and stuff. So I think it's going to cost us like $300 or $400 to get actual lumber and do it the way Some people do it, and I think this is just easier using a bunch of scrap wood. So we'll show you as we go along. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. I'm gonna go take the kids fishing. Beautiful day, and run some errands. All right, bye.